After 1922, the name Nunda began circulating in colonial taverns before finding its way into academic meeting rooms across Europe. Debates followed. A mutated lion? An exaggerated black panther? Or merely indigenous superstition? Night falls and the Nunda moves. No roar, no snapping branches. Only the sensation of being watched, something that has made even the most seasoned hunters turn back before dawn. It is larger than a lion. Its shoulders rise higher than a man's head. Its body is long and powerfully built, muscles drawn tight like steel cables. Its coat is dark gray, marked with faint striping like the shadows of trees, perfect camouflage for the East African forest. The Nunda's eyes do not glow in the dark. They are dark, like twin voids that swallow light. The locals knew one thing the Europeans refused to believe. Nunda does not hunt out of hunger. It hunts to protect the forest. A hunting party of 6 men ventures deep into the forest. They carry rifles, steel traps, and a deadly confidence. On the morning of the 3rd day, only 4 rifles are found, scattered around the base of an ancient tree. No bodies, no blood, no signs of dragging. Only claw marks gouge into the bark nearly a meter above a man's head. Patrick Bowen was right about one thing. The footprints he observed did not belong to any known feline species. The paw prints were broad, with retractable claws that nevertheless left unusually deep impressions, a clear indication of a body mass far exceeding that of ordinary big cats. The fur samples recovered did not match lion, did not match leopard, did not match lynx. The strands were thick, partially hollow, adapted for high humidity and the cold nights of the rainforest. This was not a savanna animal. This was a ruler of the jungle. The locals say the Nunda was there long before their ancestors arrived. When the forest was thicker, when forest elephants were larger, when humans were only wanderers in someone else's territory. The Nunda does not fear guns. It learned that guns require fire. And fire shatters the darkness, the realm where it is king. On his final night in Lindy, William Hitchens heard something outside the hut. No roar, no footsteps, only a heavy, steady breath very close. The next morning, a single footprint lay outside the hut. No approach, no retreat. It had stood there, watching. Then it left. Since then, the forests of Tanzania have continued to swallow people. Livestock still vanishes. Claw marks still appear on tree trunks far beyond human reach. The locals call this the Nunda's mercy. Some species do not go extinct. They simply remain undiscovered. And the Nunda, a colossal forest cat, the silent hunter of the dark, is still out there. The forest is silent beyond what is natural. No insects, no night birds. Even the wind seems trapped between the crowns of ancient trees. That is when the hunters understand they have stepped into the heart of the Nunda's territory. Patrick Bowen is the first to stop. He has hunted lions in the Serengeti, faced wounded forest elephants, but the old instinct in his chest is screaming something entirely different. "We're not alone," he whispers. The brush ahead does not stir, yet the sensation of being watched presses hard against the back of every neck. 6 rifles rise, dark barrels aimed at empty, invisible space. Then, a sharp, pungent scent spreads through the air, the smell of damp fur, shredded tree resin, and raw meat. The Nunda does not appear by leaping out. It steps out of the darkness, as if it had been standing there all along. Its body is so massive it warps perception. Its head hangs level with a grown man's chest, shoulders rolling with muscle beneath a coat of dark gray fur. Its long tail sweeps the ground lightly, slow, deliberate, assured. No roar, no bared fangs. It does not need a warning. A young hunter's hands tremble. A gunshot cracks the air. The bullet strikes the Nunda's shoulder. The beast steps back half a pace. No blood, no sign of pain. Then its eyes change. Not with anger, but with recognition. In an instant, the Nunda is gone. No one sees it move. Only the air tearing apart. A scream erupts behind them. One man is slammed to the ground not by fangs, but by overwhelming mass. Bones snap like dry branches. Before anyone can even turn, the Nunda has withdrawn into the forest, taking its prey its trespasser with it. There is no pursuit. The forest closes, as if it had never opened at all. Bowen kneels beside the imprint left in the damp earth. A single footprint, wider than a human hand, claws fully retracted. This is not a wild animal. This is a ruler. That night, they do not light a fire. They sit motionless in the darkness, rifles resting across their laps, listening to footsteps circling the camp, slow, steady, deliberate. The Nunda does not attack again. It has delivered its message. By morning, 3 deep claw marks appear on the tree beside the camp, gouged far above a man's height, the bark torn open like wet paper. There are no further casualties. But no one from the hunting party ever returns to the Lindy forest. Bowen left Africa 2 years later. He never filed an official report. He left behind only a single line in his personal notebook. There are cats that do not hunt to feed. They hunt to remind humanity that it was not the first master of this world. And the Nunda, it is still there. In forest, the maps choose to avoid. In pockets of darkness where science has yet to find the courage to step, waiting, not for prey, but for those who dare to forget an ancient fear. By 1936, the Lindy forest was no longer a rumor. The colonial authorities could not accept that a single beast had rendered an entire region abandoned, roads cut off, villages emptied in panic. The Nunda was no longer a local legend. It had become a direct challenge to human control. And humanity has always responded to such challenges in the same way. They brought more weapons. The final extermination party numbered 12 men. They carried heavy rifles, explosives, steel traps, and most dangerously trained hunting dogs. The locals refused to guide them. One village elder spoke a single sentence before turning away. Nunda does not kill people. It only defends its territory. On the first day, the party pushes deep into forbidden territory. The forest is unnaturally silent. No tracks. No scat. No sign of any large cat. As if the forest had been empty for a long time. By the second day, the hunting dogs begin to whine. They do not bark. They do not charge forward. Instead, they flatten their ears, strain against their chains, trying to turn back. Whitmore orders them to proceed. The first mistake. On the third night, the camp is set beside a dry riverbed. The fire burns high, its light sweeping across massive tree trunks, like rows of exposed bones. 1:40 a.m. One of the dogs disappears. No sound. No blood. The chain is snapped, not bitten through, but torn apart. Whitmore orders a warning volley. Gunfire erupts, ripping through the night forest. And that is when the Nunda begins to hunt. There is no frontal attack. One soldier is dragged beyond the ring of fire in a blink. The second is slammed to the ground as he turns his head. No one sees the Nunda. Only the empty spaces where people had been standing moments before. Bullets are fired into the darkness. The darkness swallows them whole. The Nunda moves along the perimeter, always where the firelight cannot reach. It does not kill everyone. It chooses. Those who break formation. Those who panic. Those who shoot before they look. Whitmore finally sees it. Only for a second long enough to last a lifetime. A massive form stands between 2 trees, so tall and heavy that the ground sinks beneath its weight. Firelight catches its eyes, dark as an abyss. No hatred, no fury, only the cold appraisal of something that knows it is superior. Whitmore pulls the trigger. The bullet strikes squarely in the chest. The Nunda does not fall. It steps forward once, then it is gone. By morning, only 5 men remain alive. No further pursuit. No final blow. On the tree at the center of the camp, there is a single claw mark, deep, wide, drawn out. Whitmore orders a withdrawal. The final command of the operation. The official report states, target organism not located. Casualties attributed to jungle conditions and panic. But in the classified file, one line is marked in red. Area restricted. Unidentified biological threat. From that point on, there were no further extermination campaigns against the Nunda. The Lindy Forest was sealed off. Maps left it blank. Trails vanished. Humans did not win. They learned to stay away. And the Nunda, it does not pursue, it does not seek revenge. It does not expand its territory. It simply continues to exist as a reminder that before humans laid down laws for the world, others already ruled it, and they never surrendered that claim.